Okay, so it's National Caesar Day. I'm going to go ahead and try to make the mother of all Caesars. You can see I got an egg, tomatoes, bacon, two types of rimmer, some flour butter, Worcestershire, some hot peppers, Tabasco, horseradish, pickles, olives, sriracha sauce, eggs, and obviously a pepperoni and the big glass to use it with. So we're going to get started on this right away. So first thing I'm going to do here is just flour some bacon and then put it into a hot pan with some melted butter. I want that bacon to be nice and crispy and firm when it goes into that drink. So show you the end result once I'm done moving it to the pan, and then we'll get started by making our drink. So there's my bacon, getting nice and crispy. If you ever want to try this, it's great on the barbecue too. Just a little bit of flour, eggs, nice wash, throw it in there, get it nice and hot. It'll take some time, but you have some awesome bacon. So while that bacon's cooking, I'm just going to get started on mixing up this rimmer. So what I'm going to use here is maple bacon. That's La Grill from Clubhouse. I have just a little bit left here in this container, so I'll use the rest of that. And I don't like the Clamato rimmer, I don't like the keg rimmer, but I do like this Clubhouse Caesar rimmer. So I'll probably mix this about half and half as best as I can. And then I'll probably put some lime juice or lemon juice into this plate to get the rim of the glass ready to go. Probably the best sort here. Alright, so bacon's almost there. You can see it's nice and crispy. I got my rimmer all ready to go. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir or a shake here. Let's just got this all mixed in here. I ended up using the real lemon to help to make that perfect rimmer. The sugar obviously is going to help to stick to the glass, so I'd recommend that. Don't use anything like water or anything that's, doesn't have any tact. So got this massive German beer glass, which again, this is going to be the mother of all Caesars, so I thought I would use this in place of a regular pint or just a small glass. Okay, boom, rub that all in there. Don't make the mistake like I've done in the past, pour your booze in first, pour your ice in, and then go, ooh, I forgot to put the rimmer on. So this is so important to get this done first. As you can see, that's a nice rimmer. All right, so we're gonna get set up here with the bacon and all the other ingredients. So two stories here. One, let's start with the ice. Because this glass is so massive, you can see it even says a liter on there. 1 liter right above the rim. How much ice you put in there? A rookie bartender, you'll know them. They don't put any ice unless you tell them that you want your drink to be neat or ice-free. I think if you're going to get a nice drink, it should be low with ice. Now, this being a Caesar, I'm just going to use half because obviously I don't want that ice pouring down on my face like a waterfall when I take my first sip. So we'll keep it at about half. Second part here is why I'm using gin. So a number of years ago, we had a little drink off with Caesars, a little sampler, Caesar night, and someone brought gin to try. And since that moment, I don't think I've gone back to using vodka. Sparingly when I've made my own infused vodka, but it's been all gin with the Caesars from now on in. So how much am I going to use? Well, you can see here, this is a 1.14 liter bottle, and this is a 1 liter glass. I'm going to use the rest of this bottle. You know what? It's going to fit in there. I want to taste the gin. I don't want nothing to be overpowering, but I definitely want to get a nice grasp of that gin when it's in this drink. Okay, so maybe the whole bottle, the rest of that bottle, that Gila bottle is too much. I'll just leave that little fifth of gin in there for me and M&M. Yeah, so for the Caesar, I'm going to use this Mott's Clamato, this new lime Clamato. I like it because typically I would just throw in a little bit of lime juice with my Caesars, but now I don't have to do that. I'm going to make this ridiculously hot. Like, it's going to be mouth burning. So what I've decided to do is, part of the package should be a beer chaser. Go with something light, Sleeman Clear 2.0. That's a nice beer, nice and light. Should clean up the mouth afterwards, but this baby's going to be hot. So first things first, Tabasco, but hold on a second. Let's just have the Tabasco with that yummy bacon in the background. Okay, so Tabasco, I'm just going to be really liberal here. Like, there's going to be no fooling around with this Tabasco. Again, because of the size of this glass, you know, you gotta put a couple extra shakes in there. All right. Next, our Worcestershire sauce. I'm not really a big fan, and this is another rookie mistake I see a lot of bartenders do. They go over the top with a tiny glass with this stuff. You know what? Just a little bit. I'll put a little bit more in there because this is a big glass. I don't want to mess around too much with that because it is pretty strong. Okay, so next part here, horseradish. You might say, well, why would you be putting horseradish into Caesar? Again, this is something I stumbled upon over the years. This is a nice little add to your Caesar. Normally, I would only use one of these smaller teaspoons here to do that, but because of the size of the glass, I'm going to go with 2. Yeah, there we go. So this is really going to give this Caesar a kick. You know, it has its own flavor, so you got to watch out how much you put in here, but I definitely like the heat that this gives off. It makes a little bit more, makes the drink a little more round in flavor. A couple of my friends like to use barbecue sauce, but I'll just go with that much. You know how hot this stuff is. 2 things about these peppers. One, I love the flavor, and secondly, the brine. Okay, you know, a lot of people like putting brine in there. Again, I've watched people just pour crazy amounts of brine. Remember, this is all salt, that brine, so you want to just be fairly gentle with how much you put in there. I'm going to grab a couple of these peppers, throw them in there, and I'm going to grab one more, and this is another little bit that I like to do. I like to just to squeeze it and rip it up and get all the seeds and all that brine that's stuck inside that pepper in there. So just like cough medicine, you gotta shake this stuff up. You just pour it right out of the bottle. You're gonna leave all that goodness at the bottom. So give it a good shake. Okay, let's get her open here. Hard to do with one hand. Be back in 1 sec. Okay, let's pour it in. There it is. Okay, it's gonna need a stir, of course, and I'll get to that in a moment, but I'm going to move on to the dressings. Everything's going to come together here in the last little bit, so let's prepare for the mother of all Caesars. Okay, so got my massive pepperoni. This comes from my buddy Mark. Does not know regular pepperoni. This is a deer meat pepperoni. He caught it, hunted it himself. You can see little serving pickles, olives. I got a boiled egg, more olives in the pickle, and of course the creme de la creme. Beautiful bacon. Jam that in there. Oh yeah, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. See this? No movement, rock solid. Let's find some room for this. And that's it, folks. That's the mother of all Caesars for National Caesar Day. Can't wait to get into it.